Greetings, discreet defenders. Today we have another two-part video. Part one is an unboxing. This is a really exciting, some might say long overdue unboxing, because the aging ProChrono has been replaced at last. Now, at some point, we'll probably have a ceremonial funeral for the old ProChrono. It has served us well. Something I bought used off of eBay, actually, a few years ago. But this right here is the new ProChrono. Now, I did shoot one more video without a chronograph involved, and unfortunately used up the target ammunition in question, but I will be shooting that video next, I will be showing that video next, but I did want to show off the new ProChrono. It's a lot like the old ProChrono, except that it's new. Now, I really like the ProChrono because it calculates your average. It calculates averages without having to install an app on your phone or anything. And so that's why I elected to go with that brand again. This one comes with the sunshades, so, which I never had with the old one. Should be able to, and 4 steel rods, not just 3 like with the old ProChrono. But yeah, that's basically it. Takes a 9-volt battery, same as the old one. So I got to go get that out of the car. But you've seen how they work. It will be interesting. It looks like it has a little bit more functionality than the old one. Hopefully that's not too complicated. I'll have to figure that out. But in the meantime, enjoy the 380 target ammo video that I shot without the ProChrono last week. Today we are set up to test some Carbon City lead-free ball ammunition out of the Ruger LCP Max. And the first thing we want to know is how will that 2-piece case construction feed through the LCP Max? We've seen this with other types of super light ammunition where they use that hybrid aluminum and nickel-coated brass as a kind of a weight saving at the back of the round, and they don't feed so well so far in the LCP Max. But Carbon City may be loading a different case than the I think it was the Novax Pentagon that wasn't able to feed. It may be the same case, it probably is, but these were cheap enough for 50 rounds of pure copper ammunition that I figured worth a shot, so to speak. Okay, so we'll back up a little bit, about 10 feet away, and mainly we're just testing for feeding. All right, first round chambered okay. We'll run a couple of quick mags, and if there's any problems, it should show up. No, that ran smooth. Huh. 20 rounds, no hiccups, good enough. Let's bust out a couple of used gel blocks and try one more test. The ProChrono is still out of commission because of the broken battery connector. But let's set up our used gel blocks and see what kind of penetration we get. I'm guessing it'll zip right through everything and keep on going, but I think I have some space here if I set these up correctly. Denim barrier is probably completely irrelevant. Okay, chamber 1 round, aim a little low, and yes, yes, completely penetrated both gel blocks. And yeah, actually that track is underneath all the way. Those are separate tracks through both gel blocks, and we went out both sides of the water jug. So that's 18 inches of gel and a gallon jug of water. Six more inches of water behind it. I see no problem with the penetration. Let's examine that. Let's examine that design a little bit. Once again here. Okay, so again, Carbon City lead-free ball ammunition. Little 75 grain projectiles. Nothing to them. And 2-piece case. Classic flat nose FMJ look to them, although it's not really a full metal jacket. It's jacket material. 75 grains of copper. And no lead. And they're cheap enough. Right now, I bought these. I think I bought these off a Lucky Gunner. And they're cheap enough right now. And they will run the gun. And they will punch a hole, you know. They will poke a hole, as they say. I have pretty good confidence that this is actually pretty good ammunition. Thank you, Carbon City. You have produced a superior and affordable lead-free option for .380 pocket pistols, particularly the Ruger LCP Max, which is kind of picky on ammunition, especially 2-piece cases like that. Good enough. Now, a word about the LCP Max. A number of you have suggested that I throw a spring kit into the LCP Max, and I haven't done that yet for 2 reasons. Number 1, I want to test the gun as it comes from the factory to give a proper review of its performance characteristics. And number 2, YouTube does specify, did you use a modified gun in your video? And if the answer is yes, you go into a special category that may or may not be monetizable, or may or may not be permanently monetizable, or restricted in some way. So before I modify this gun, I want to make sure that I'm through using it as a test gun for the channel. But once it becomes purely a carry gun, I think I probably will put a stronger spring, stronger recoil spring in there. And that way, I don't have to worry so much about stuff that hangs up on feeding or about really high-end ammunition. I don't know that I'd run plus P in a little gun like this, but some of the stronger stuff, might give it some issues. Not sure. All right. Thanks, folks. This is Dave for DDR. Have a great week.